What is going on, guys? Today we are looking at the best meta prem players in each position. We're going to go with 3 categories of gold, special mid-range, and the best of the best. Starting off, we've got Alisson. Again, like I say with keepers, it's very hit and miss. Some people like them, some people don't. There's a very, very big mixed opinion. We do have a tier list across every single position, from goalkeepers, defenders, midfielders, and attackers. If you want to check that out on the channel, then make sure you do after this. Obviously with Alisson, very standard. If you are, the golds are there if you are brand new to the game, you've not quite got your team of the seasons yet. We do have the second one being Armand De Gea. Again, a very nice goalkeeper, but not necessarily massively boost in rating. He's gone from an 87 to a 90, which is what we're seeing across the board from team of the seasons. I do think he's a good mid-range goalkeeper. You've got him and Ramsdale as the 2 choices for team of the season. And the best goalkeeper I find in terms of rating, I'm happy with Ederson. Alisson, Ederson were the golds that I really enjoyed, and I must admit any upgrade onto either of them is incredible, and we are likely, or we should be getting, an Alisson team of the season moments or team of the season SBC in the coming days, so there will be that to add to the list as well. Ederson, obviously being a footballer, has managed to get just a little bit of an extra stat, nothing too crazy. There is a 90 version of him as well, so he has technically got an 89, 90 and 91 for you to pick from, plus an incredible amount of traits if you really want it. Into right back, we've got Kyle Walker as the gold, pretty standard now, and I will say most of the goals will kind of brush past quickly, but they are pretty much irrelevant with all of the team of the seasons we've got. But this is literally a day one account if you wanted to have the opinions on the best gold Premier League players. We then have Dalot as the 88 mid, a standard right back if you wanted. Again, we have got a few options going forward, but I do think Dalot is still a very good value player if you wanted to go for the right back. In the best spot, it's got to be Reece James. It was between him and Trippier, obviously. You do have a nice path to glory Walker, I believe it is. But in terms of the price, they just don't add up if you are looking for the most efficient and best right back you can get. James looks absolutely sensational. Still yet to pack him, so hopefully we do get him in the coming days. But a beautiful right back if you wanted. Left back, we're going to one that actually doesn't play there anymore, but Cancelo is going to be my best gold left back. He is coming in at a bit more of a cost now due to the fact he has joined Bayern Munich, but I do think in terms of gold, he is the standard choice. Are you tired of using players like this? I would much rather have teams more like this. Then I recommend going over to skycoach.gg for all of your coaching and coins needs. They are cheap, fast and reliable, but at the checkout make sure you are using code JT11 for a discount on your orders. Back to the video, which is then followed by his Team of the Year honourable. So this is a 4-star Cancelo, a big upgrade from his 88, and I do think as the mid goes, you've got the arguments between the best and obviously a couple in between, but I do really rate Cancelo. If he was still at Man City and managed to get his team of the season, he would definitely be in the top spot as well. But we have gone for Robertson, the counterpart that was always battling with obviously Cancelo, and he is a cracking left back. You have got the other options of potential of Zinchenko team of the season, but I think for me, Robertson just outweighs him a little bit in terms of a left back. Granted, I needed to flex the red just that little bit, but I do think Robertson is or has naturally got the better ability. The 2 gold centre-backs is going to be Armand Varane and also Virgil van Dijk, who actually is still in the team, yet to get a replacement for him, but he is absolutely sensational. Both of them, well, I'd say Varane's definitely coming in at a cheap value. Van Dijk, the best gold centre-back you can physically get for that amount of price. If we go into the mid-options, if you have tried Team of the Season Ake, what a player. What an absolute legend. He is incredible. The pace, the physicality of him, the defensive ability is stunning. And like we've seen in the ranking defensive tier list yesterday, there is a lot of good centre-backs, and most definitely a lot have come from the Prem in recent weeks, so it is a great time to be in a Prem team. Ruben Diaz is fantasy foot, is coming in as a mid as well, because he doesn't quite make that top spot for me, and we'll show you why in a second, but as well, that 96 is outstanding, and if he does drop below, say, the 500k mark, then obviously he would have been in the mids as well, but still a stunning card, a great pace upgrade. The defending physical is absolutely elite level, composure's up there with the reactions, just everything about Ruben Diaz as he gets into these high rated versions is beautiful. And then into the top spots, we have got team of the season moments Varane. There's very little words that you need to say about this guy, but look at the stats. 90 pace, 95 defending, 93 physical. The guy is a walk-in defensive wall. And if you was to be able to partner him with Virgil van Dijk, these two together would be monsters. The defensive and physical attributes, plus the defending, the composure, the pace is electric. And this is why you definitely need to have the A game of all attacks, because we will be coming up against some very, very top-end teams as we go past this premium Premier League upgrades, because most definitely Ruben Diaz and Varane are both still very sensational. You could throw in Ake as well, or even a bit of Saliba also. There is, like I say, a huge amount of very talented centre-backs in the Premier League at the moment. We then go into the gold CDM role. Obviously with the midfield, I've gone for CDM, CM and Cam, so their natural position has to be centre defensive mid. It can't be that they, for instance, can be a centre mid. It is CDM of natural, centre mid natural and Cam natural. Conte for me is the best shout now in terms of a gold card. Like I say, I don't think the gold cards are really worth it anymore, but if you are brand new, then he's obviously the shout that you want to go for. We then go into CDM, 94 Casemiro with a big pace increase, but also under 100,000 coins, which is absolutely crazy to think that 94 rated team of the season with some very, very top end stats. I'm not going to lie. He may not be the greatest DM in the world on the game, but most definitely for under 100k, you are getting yourselves a class midfielder at the very minimum. But that reserve spot, obviously he is a CDM as a normal. We have changed him just because he is a loan version. Obviously a centre defensive mid in Yaya Toure. He's got his World Cup, his normal, his Trophy Titans. I'd probably take all of them, to be honest. The heroes may be coming out of a bit of recommendations from myself, but the World Cup and the Trophy Titans are absolutely elite. We then move on to the centre mids in KDB for the gold. Pretty standard, there's nothing too much to say about him. I'm not a massive fan, but in terms of centre mids, he's the best in that position. But Bruno G is going to be in that mid spot. Actually cheaper than I thought what he was going to be, to be honest. I think the stats, unfortunately, are a little bit underwhelming compared to his FUT birthday, which was a 91. But still, look at the stats. Everything is above 85. You go with a Hunter and you get everything pretty much as close to 90 as possible. The card is an absolute joke, and he just naturally is a very, very good box to box. But then the top spot is going to be with our man KDB again. 97. There is obviously commiserations to Bernardo Silva as a 95. Both of them, for me, are more cams, but in terms of centre mids, this is where it's going to go for him. A 4-star, 5-star, 97 KDB. I think he's still coming in at over 2 million coins, and the stats are always brilliant when it comes to a top-end KDB. Obviously, we're used to a 98, 99. Unfortunately, this year we're at a 97 so far, and I believe he was the same as his team of the year. Could be wrong in there. I know there's a couple of stats at best. The dribbling, the passing, the obvious stamina, and even shooting, to be honest, is absolutely incredible for this guy. On to the cams then, we've got Bernardo Silva as the gold version here. Again, pretty standard. There is a few nice cams, but Bernardo Silva definitely is the one that sticks out more than anything. We then go on to footballers, Jackie Grealish as the next cam, 90 rated. Obviously a very good cam in terms of what they've given him. Very agile on the ball, pace is nice, he's got a bit of shooting, and the passing obviously is very much in that baller-esque sort of category. Also with some very nice traits. In terms of the best cam, actually I've seen him in a lot of Premier League. I don't think he necessarily makes everybody's team, but most definitely from the Premier League Cup, he's been a pain in my rear. Most definitely. He is a little bit expensive, but he's very grindable with obviously the premium Premier League upgrades and plenty of duplicates from them. He is obviously a 4-star, can also play centre forward or striker, or you could play him a little bit more on the wider position. I feel like as a lamb or a ram, they definitely kind of suits his position quite nicely because of the pace, the dribbling, and then obviously the cut-in with that shot as well. Then we move on to the left wing in Sonny Baby, the gold version of Son. Incredible. Always love a bit of a Son because he is naturally very quick, great on the shooting ability, and he normally has a good amount of dribbling from the gold version. Like I said, these will become very, very outdated. But what's not outdated is Martinelli team of the season. A little bit cheaper than obviously the top end, which we can imagine who's going to be in that top spot, but most definitely do not dismiss this guy whatsoever. We got Mitomo, I want to say is how you pronounce his name, as a free objective card if you've done all your upgrades, and to be honest, I do think he does rival a bit of Martinelli, and also you've got your St. Max SBC as well. So again, we've got an abundance of left wings that are coming in from the top end, and obviously the top end has got to be Rashford. 7 million coins still is absolutely unreal, and I must admit, when we use this card, he was effortless. He is, to be honest, more of a striker in my eyes because he is that good. I personally couldn't put him out wide if I'm not playing like a 4-3-3 or something very attacking with that left wing / left forward, but most definitely this card is an absolute dream. If you've got the coins for him, you are going to be laughing if you do manage to get him, because I think it's what everybody wants. I love a Haaland, but Rashford is the standout for me in this team of the season. If we go into right wing, Salah's obviously the best gold you can get. That is just natural ability, very quick, good dribbling, shooting's decent, and he's got that left foot cutting in from the right side. If then we look at the medium value, Saka has been an absolute dream for me. He has been brilliant in this first foot champs. We've managed to get him a couple of times now. We did actually get him red, but unfortunately we already had this Saka and I couldn't not take a red cane. In terms of what he can give you though, the pace, if you've used his team of your honourable, it's just that little bit better. That is the kind of beauty of this. He's got the finishing, the dribbling's just breathless. It is brilliant. It's so quick, very agile down the wing, and also the pace is absolutely outstanding. But of course, the best of the best is going to be our man team of the season, Salah. 96 rated. It's definitely what Saka should have been. From the 93, I just feel like they definitely undermined him a little bit. Obviously, Salah having a 93, he only technically got a triple upgrade, but unfortunately it did overshadow Saka's performance in terms of now we know who the best right wing is in the Prem. Obviously the pace, the dribbling, the shooting, the passing, everything about Salah is absolutely incredible, which is normally the case with any Salah. We got two centre forwards for you in FUT Birthday, João Felix, or Felix is how he likes it to pronounce, and also Fantasy FUT Jota. Both Portuguese centre forwards, it's just happened like that, but both of them are absolutely outstanding in that middle. Again, you've got multiple positions, a left wing for Jota / a striker, and the same for João. I do think both of them suit more of a cam role than anything. Striker wise it's okay, but I just feel like the physicality between the two is just not quite there. In terms of gold strikers, we obviously have Cristiano Ronaldo, again another card that will cost you a little bit more due to inflation of him technically not being in packs for Man U anymore, and then obviously our man Haaland. Again, there is options there, but in terms of golds, them two are the standout for me, most definitely going forward at this moment in time. The two middle prices, 210 you can get Martial for. Obviously, you were out of the Europa, so it is what it is. But in terms of obviously what you can get from him, 94 pace, 95 dribbling, incredible shooting. It's a shame that we didn't progress any further into it, but most definitely this card is still fantastic at this rating. Next to him is going to be our man Isaac, and I think everyone's our man at this point, but Isaac is outstanding as well. Big old unit, very much Ibra vibes in terms of tall, very skillful, great weak foot, incredible amounts of shooting, but also very pacey as well. I do think you get along with him or don't with this card, but most definitely I have absolutely loved him for everything that I've done with him, from draft to rivals to champs. I've only done a few games with this version of him, but most definitely a few loans and also drafts. He has been absolutely brilliant for me. And then we go into the best Premier League strikers you can physically get. The first one is obviously going to be Ginola. It's a standard for him, to be honest. He is just amazing. Genuinely amazing, and obviously that comes at a hefty price, which is worth every penny. A 5-star. We was used to him last year with his shapeshifter at 98. Hopefully we do get another version of him which goes even more past this one, but this card is just incredible. As a striker, you don't want anything from him other than goals, and he puts them on an absolute plate. And the best striker I personally really rate is going to be Haaland. That is a big nomination of Kane though as well. I do think Kane, as the cost effectiveness, is still absolutely brilliant as well, but Haaland is Haaland. Incredible amounts of pace, the physicality bonus you get from him, the dribbling, the shooting. He is just an absolute world wielding up front, and we've been utilising him and Ginola in the Premier League Cup, and they've just been incredible together. There's not too bad a partnership you can get. Obviously, you've got R9, you've got all of the top-end kind of Eusebio, Cruyffs, but in terms of Premier League, these are the Rolls Royces. So if you did enjoy the video, make sure you do check out the one on screen, make sure you do like and subscribe, and I'll catch you all tomorrow for the next video. And I think we've got a Premier League upgrade coming out later.